What is up, everybody? This is your boy, Philip Enriquez, for the Say What You Like Sports podcast. I just returned home, back up from Oxnard, California, the home of the Dallas Cowboys 2019 training camp. And I gotta admit, I liked what I saw earlier today. And I know some of you out there are probably like, hey, just another Cowboys homer talking about he liked everything he saw. And I gotta admit, I didn't like everything I saw. There was a few negatives, but I also got to admit there were a whole hell of a lot more positives than negatives to talk about in today's practice at training camp up in Oxnard. The first position group that I really had my eyes on were these quarterbacks. I was about to say 3 quarterbacks, but there's 4 that we got to talk about now. Mike White, Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott, and this Taryn Christian, number 5. Hey, this kid's putting in the work over there. He looks like he's got a nice arm from what I saw at practice. I don't really know much about this guy, but he's putting the work in out there. He was one of the last to leave the practice field today in Oxnard. Now, Mike White was very, very impressive to me. I mean, he looks to be playing with confidence, and that's what I was talking about earlier, confidence. So here's the thing. He threw a few nice intermediate routes, completed a few deep passes. He's got some nice zip on the ball. So I really like what I seen with Mike White. But again, he can be one of these Lance Lenore types who balls out during the practices up in Oxnard and then doesn't show up when the lights are on in those preseason games. So Mike White is somebody that you guys out there should be keeping an eye on during the preseason game up in Santa Clara. I'll be there. Say What You Like Sports podcast. I'm going to have my eye on Mike White. Cooper Rush looked decent. He had a few incompletions. Mike White, hey, he had a few deep incompletions. It happens. Randall Cobb, he dropped a few balls on White and Dak. Dak, he threw 2 interceptions. That's a negative. He threw a ball or 2 in the ground. I don't know if I have all my video clips yet, but I'll try to upload what I can so I can show you a little bit more about what I'm talking about here. But it was real fun watching 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. I mean, they were in pads for the second day in a row, and they were hitting out there. We got to see some action up close, and it was really fun checking out those 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s with Shango Live and Law Nation out there. Cool peoples, man, real down to earth. We had a blast watching practice out there, the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. Shout out to Law Nation. Shout out to Shango. We got to do that again sometime. Shifting to the O-line, it was also good to see Travis Frederick out there in pads doing some work. Mark Colombo, man, he was coaching those guys up in the offensive line drills. It was good to see Frederick out there, though. Really, really good to see. Jason Witten is another guy who had one of those veteran days off. He didn't put the pads on today. He was out there in a ball cap. But that really opened up some things for Blake Jarwin, number 89. Big dude. He made some big grabs over the middle from a couple of different quarterbacks. Blake Jarwin continues to impress me the way he did late in the 2018 season. Blake Jarwin's another guy I'm going to have my eye on in these preseason games. I really, really, really want to buy into Jarwin possibly being the starter, even though I don't think it'll happen, and I am glad Witten's back with this squad. But the potential of Jarwin has got me excited, especially after watching those grabs earlier today at training camp in the practice. Look, I gotta run. It's been a long day, but I look forward to bringing you guys more content from Oxnard, California. Me being a Southern California native, Oxnard is about an hour away. It's not a big deal to get up there. Try to keep everybody out there informed in Cowboys Nation. So sub up to the channel, the Say What You Like Sports podcast. We're in podcast form. We've been growing steadily, but we're really trying to push the video along with the audio. So sub it up to YouTube. I went live on Facebook. Add me on Twitter. Do whatever you got to do, but make sure you're subbing it up to the Say What You Like Sports podcast. I will be back with another video shortly, I'm sure. But until then, peace out, everybody. Go Cowboys.